Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to Monster Tamer News, the segment on this channel where of course we go over the last week's developments in the world of monster taming. This week is going to be a little on the quieter side, however we do have some more information that sort of stacks on top of what we were discussing last week with regards to how the gameplay will work in Nexomon 3 and with like multi-battles and stuff like that. We have a new monster taming game releasing tomorrow that came out of nowhere. They finally fixed some of the bugs in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that were essentially breaking certain aspects of the game for some people, and more. So, as per the usual, make sure to sit back, relax, and let's dive in. Okay, so first things first, we did get some unfortunate news regarding Evocreo 2, that being the fact that the game was yet again delayed as the developer stated that it wasn't in a state that they were happy with. That being said, we do have a new roadmap that goes over when we can expect alpha, beta, and full release, and it looks like they're going to be doing an alpha in August, a beta in September, and then releasing the full game in October, very close together. Now, that being said, originally they were going to launch the main campaign and multiplayer separate, so I'm not sure if this is now combined or if multiplayer is just not on here, but either way, I do look forward to seeing what the game has to offer. And personally, I don't think multiplayer is that important when it comes to indie monster taming games, unless they're going to sell millions of copies and have an active competitive community. Cassette Piece, the game I'm sure a lot of you guys have been hearing about lately, is finally releasing on April 26th, which is 2 days from now. We've been following the game on the channel since 2020, all the way back before we even hit 1,000 subscribers, and honestly, I'm super excited to finally play this game and showcase that to you. I'm just finishing up with the game myself as I'm putting this video together, and we'll have a review for you guys on day 1 to coincide with the release itself. I've also been spending a lot of time putting together guides, breakdowns, etc., so that every aspect of the game will be covered on this channel. The devs also stated that they are going to be in it for the long run and they're supporting mods and stuff like that, so someone's got to hurry up and make a mod with monsters from every monster taming game. That'd be pretty dope. Likewise, Monster Tribe is releasing on May 1st, and on the day that it does release, I'm going to be recording a sort of let's try / showcase video for it and sort of see how the game has changed since the demo that came out last year. The video will have to come out on the day after, that being May 2nd, so definitely expect that video from me, and I will leave the Steam page linked below if you're interested. We got some more Nexomon 3 information courtesy of Nazir regarding gameplay, where the developer expanded a little bit on the types of multi-battles we could see in the game. This can include boss fights with 4-on-1 combat, so it's not necessarily just going to be a strict 3-on-3 thing. In fact, it sounds like the game is probably still going to mainly feature single battles, but with those types of battles sprinkled in. I could be wrong about this, but we've also gotten a little bit of information about the gameplay outside of that, including the fact that there will be some sort of train system that will allow for fast travel, the fact that the developer is looking to minimize a lot of the status effects that cause immobilization, and even that there might be some sort of temperature meter that can increase or decrease when fire or ice moves are used respectively. Do keep in mind that a lot of this is probably going to be subject to change, as a developer has been having a back and forth with the community in Discord, and seems like this is sort of a brainstorming thing in a way. But I do think it'll be cool to have situations where it's implied you're getting help, like in the fight with Omnicron in the first Nexomon, where you actually are having the companions fight with you instead of it just being sort of like, yeah, we totally did. We got a new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet patch, which mostly just tackles bug issues like Terror Raids not working, that save file bug that Pokemon diehards will defend because it didn't affect enough people, as if it even affecting one person is acceptable. But at the very least, it does look like it's finally fixed. That being said, I have seen a lot of people saying too little too late. You guys gotta let me know what you think about that. I think as much as it does suck that certain things take so long to get fixed, I do think it's better that they get fixed than not get fixed personally. So next up, we have a game that kind of came out of nowhere, which I find is a pretty common thing in the indie scene. However, this game is actually releasing tomorrow and features dragon taming specifically. I'm gonna play the trailer for you guys and then we'll come back. So it goes without saying that we have 3 monster taming releases all within a week of each other, and while I was a bit concerned that Monster Tribe might get overshadowed by Cassette Beasts, I think this game's gonna get overshadowed by both, especially with this sort of stealth launch that's happening tomorrow. I saw a comment on my Monster Tribe release date video where someone basically said that the devs need to compete with each other and they're not gonna hold hands and sing Kumbaya, but it seems like these games that are announcing the release dates after Cassette Beasts aren't giving themselves a competitive edge by doing so. They're instead crippling themselves. If Nexomon and Coromon both decided to release at the same time, I'd be annoyed, and I still think it would negatively impact sales, but at least they're comparable levels of notoriety and popularity, whereas it seems like we have 3 different games on 3 different levels here, and we can only hope that all of the games sell well, but personally, I think scheduling your release around the same time as a game that has had years of hype building behind it is not a good idea. Anyways, next up, we're going to head into the rapid fire segment for the updates that don't require lengthy explanations. First things first, the Monster Crown TCG is now confirmed to be worldwide, and I was gonna say it was 91% funded as of the time I'm recording, but randomly it just got like an extra $20,000 past its funding goal. We have had some weird Kickstarter shenanigans in the past, so I would be a little bit weary about that massive spike, but either way, congrats on the funding, guys. The Bugaboo Pocket devs recently had a stream showcasing some new gameplay for the game. You can check it out on their Steam page linked below. Here we get a look at a new battle system for Taming, a look at some platforming for Nanokin, a new gremlin for Gremlins, the final Upoming coming to the new Abomination update later this year, a new monster for Disc Creatures World, a short clip for Moonstone Island, and finally, last but not least, yet another in-engine clip for Palworld. And there you go, guys. Another week has come to a close. I'm really hoping for more Nexomon 3 news moving forward beyond the sort of casual conversation that's been going on. But at the end of the day, can't blame the developer considering how ridiculous people were being with the Abyssals update and harassing them over that. So I'm fine with what little scraps of Nexomon 3 news we can get. Other than that, again, my biggest concern is with all of these releases happening on top of each other and the strange delusion that people have that everyone's just going to buy all 3, because that's probably not likely to happen. As someone who covers only monster taming games, for the most part, I want the genre to grow, and when I criticize things like devs releasing games too close to each other, especially when it seems like none of these games had any specific reason to launch right next to Cassette Beasts, especially since both of them were basically radio silent for months leading up to launch. But the reason I say this is because I want these games to do well. I want them to strive. The strangest part about all of this is that it does look like we are going to be in for a dry spell again after May, with there not really being any major releases that we have at least confirmed. We know Palworld's coming at some point. We know Evocreo 2 is supposed to come in October, but there are a lot of opportunities for developers to space out their games and give themselves a better shot, but is what it is. Anyways, all that being said, let me know what you guys think about everything and about the news in general. Definitely make sure to subscribe for daily monster taming content. Check out my Twitter, Discord, and Patreon linked below. Special thanks to the patrons, especially Jim Hamilton, Dro Ghost, Dark Persona, Exodus, and Candy Morency, and I'll see you next time. Peace.